hiking. By the way, they didn't. I was down there hiking. They didn't show up when it was flooding and all cool like a jungle. They showed up 2 weeks later when it's all sunny, so they can go down and write tickets to people. I know, it's disgusting. Foreign bankers are robbing the country. The illegal aliens don't have to have IDs to fly, but citizens do. I mean, look, the country complies. The country acts like chumps. The country bows to any type of government authority, and so they're running wild on us. All I'm saying is, I've seen cops in Austin and other areas bugging their eyes out at me, swaggering around, and I walk over, sometimes on camera. I go, you're really swaggering like you're a big bully in high school. You know, what's your problem? And usually it's so alien to them, they just freak out and smile and walk off real quick because people are so cowardly. So I get it. Police forces shouldn't be hiring mentally ill thugs. A lot of them are. A lot of forces are run by mentally ill people. And the country's, listen, they're all going to find out when the whole country goes belly up, which we're getting very, very close to right now. We're getting very, very close to that right now. My goodness, let me tell you, when the welfare checks don't show up, or when there's a major earthquake in California, the cops can't and won't protect you, and it's going to be up to you to protect yourselves. I appreciate your call. Speaking of that, it's why people need to get stocked up on vitamins, minerals, supplements, key things like X2, Survival Shield, super high-quality nascent iodine, so key to a healthy thyroid, more. At InfoWarsLife.com. People need to be stocked up on high-quality water filters, like the Pro Pure G2. That's the best gravity-fed filter out there. We've gone out and actually done the test ourselves with major companies to show how these annihilate the competition. InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWarsStore.com is the umbrella site. Support us. You can also call toll-free 888-253-3139. Everybody should have storable food. You can buy My Patriot Supply food at InfoWarsStore.com, or you can go right to the source, MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex, to find their different specials and other preparedness items, or give them a call, 866-229-0927. I think you're crazy if you don't have high-quality storable foods. MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. Great customer service, non-GMO, super high quality, also available at InfoWarsStore.com. Let's go to Ryan on the topic of 1984. Go ahead.
How much fluoride have you had drink today, sir?
Oh, I don't think I've had any. I've had some distilled water. I like to mix it up. And then I had some aquapana, which is a good flavored. I mean, I like it. It's not flavored, but I call it the flavor of the water. The taste of the water, I like that particular 500-year-old spring that they've been using in Italy. And I've also, again, got some Pro One water that I drink at home. I haven't replaced it with a G2. Go ahead.
The iodine's actually done some amazing results for me as far as my mental clarity goes, and I actually called for a number of reasons regarding the 1984, and I'm actually a grad student at Texas A&M University, Kingsville, mastering in accounting, and I'm actually going to be having a weekly radio show kind of similar to yours and talking about some of the same things, because we have a college radio station down there where they let the students host.
Good.
So, yes, and you guys are doing a heck of a job. I just wanted to let you know that I was going to be doing that. And regarding 1984, you were bringing up some key elements, and I wanted to add to what you were saying. You know how they talk about the telescreen that follows Winston around with the two eyes? It records everything you say, you do, and you can use it as a communication device. You can use it to get the news. Oh, wait, doesn't that sound like a smartphone? It's already here. And another thing that they illustrate is called the memory hole, where they talk about news, whether you put news in or out, and Big Brother decides whether it was good or bad. You can delete stuff. He controls the past, controls the future, controls the present, controls the past, the timestamps. Isn't that Facebook, Twitter, social media? Do you see that, Alex, or is it just me?
Yes, and they're able through Google and through Bing, Microsoft, all of them, to go in and put in fake timestamps, disappear what they want, change things real time, just like they can have fraud with DNA, they can have fraud with biometrics. All of this is making us less secure, not more secure, and it's being driven by a globalist intelligence, a globalist mindset, a globalist cabal, a globalist constellation of oligarchical, totalitarian collectivist.
And another thing you mentioned was the doublethink principle, and how it's the art of holding two contradictory thoughts in the mind and simultaneously accepting both of them as
yeah, that's
a form of
called
reality.
crime stop. Yes, it's a crime to think bad of government or the state. So even if they lie to you, you've got to hold both in your head at the same time. We've never been at war with Syria. We've always been at war with Syria. Syria is Al-Qaeda. Now Syria is fighting Al-Qaeda. 2 + 2 = 5. But if a mathematician needs to navigate a ship, it's okay to say 2 + 2 = 4.
Exactly, and the deeper meaning that they're doing this too, Alex, playing on the subconscious and on the subatomic level a little bit, from what I see, one of the reasons they're doing this, if they dumb people down to the points where they're so socially engineered that they're born into bondage, it's almost like when it says that they have nothing to compare freedom to, and then they'll probably like.
That's right. They've reduced the language down so much through IngSoc that people can't even be communicated with. It's like trying to communicate with a sheep, not to go into a slaughter pen. It doesn't speak English. It doesn't communicate with you. It doesn't understand. That's what they're doing. They have people adapting into slavery. And they've had the police arresting people with video cameras, the police violating all sorts of people's rights. Clearly, the direction and the education of the police is towards an authoritarian, totalitarian state. But that's coming from the top down. We will get a lot more done pointing that out and dealing with that with their bosses and saying, you're the ones in charge of this. You need to be held accountable. Instead of all these city and county and state and federal leaders acting like the police are all just doing this on their own. Look at this headline out of the Tampa Bay Times. Neighbor calls cops on boy's lemonade stand. Boy's entrepreneurial spirit rankled at least one neighbor. Now, who's bad? Who's bad? The cops or the neighbor that called the police? Well, the neighbor is a horrible person, in my view, and the police are idiots, too. Because in a lot of cities, you can't get the cops out for serious crimes. I had a car stolen in Dallas, and they said, we don't come out for cars being stolen. And I said, okay, thank you. Hung the phone up, and Dallas cops showed up saying, why'd you hang the phone up? And they walked into the apartment, my girlfriend's apartment. I had a girlfriend in Dallas back from high school. I was going back to visit her. I was like 20 years old. She's a very nice young lady, as you can imagine, drives to Dallas from Austin. And those cops came in. We're like looking around. So, believe me, I get it. You call the cops needing help, you get in trouble. But neighbors call cops on boy's lemonade stand. It seemed like a scene out of a Norman Rockwell painting. TJ served cookies and strawberry country time at his lemonade stand with a wave and a smile. Well, that's till the police showed up and told him you got to have a permit to do that. See, they want you trained to be basically political slaves. Here's another one. Man dies after being tased by police in Florida. They increased the power of the tasers the last 3 years. It was already killing hundreds a year. Now more are dying. Why do they taser you for lesser reasons now? Why are the tasers more powerful? There's smoke. See, we should look at that. But just hating the police is going to do nothing. Let's go ahead and go back to your calls. Kelly in Texas, thanks for holding.
God bless you, brother. I'm part of the resistance up here in the panhandle of Texas. And regards to you talking about moving Burger King to Canada, I worked in a refinery up here, oil refinery, have for the last 31 years. Before that, I worked at a steel mill in Pueblo, Colorado that shut down due to, as they say, foreign trade, which that's true because they moved all the steel mills overseas. And they're in the process of doing the same thing with refineries.
That's right. They have carbon rules here where we can't make steel, but everybody in India and China can.
Exactly. And they're doing the same thing with our oil refineries. We hadn't built a refinery in this country since the 70s.
That's right.
And China just put one online here about 3 years ago as 1.2 million barrel a day charge, and they are shipping refined gasoline to our East Coast and offloading it, which shut down one of our new.
It is strategic military shutdown of America. Keep going. And
I'm telling these young guys I work with that they'll be lucky if they have a job in 15 years. This refinery is still there because they are systematically moving everything out of this country, just like they did in Wales. There's a deal they did in Wales, and they did away with all the industry in Wales, and now there's 3 generations of drug addicts there. And
it's all by design. That's how you conquer America. I'm going to come back to you in overdrive. Don't hang up and come back to Kelly to finish, then Kevin and others. Infowars.com,
GCN.
PrisonPlanet.tv.
Visit GCNlive.com.
It's all by design.
today.
It's not we're being out-competed. We're being shut down by traitors.
This is Scottish John for Infowars.com. I know that most of you here in this commercial already know about the New World Order, eugenics, and all the other issues covered here at Infowars. The question is, do your friends and family know? If not, then I want to know why. Oh, I know it's tough to talk about this with some people. They might call you names, or they just want to talk about sports or soap operas. I say, so what? There's a battle going on out there right now. The ammunition is information, and the soldiers are you. It's time to transform your game from passive listener to active participant. We from Scotland have had our skin in this game for the greater part of the last 1,000 years, and I'm still fighting. If we don't all stand up right now, we're going to lose everything. The Infowar is worldwide. Tell your friends about Infowars and let them know that Infowars doesn't print bull. It's real journalism and news backed up by documented fact. Step up and take your friends and family to Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv and PlanetInfowars.com. The truth will set them free.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.